Warning! This guide features full spoilers for the new extreme fight in patch 7.4 of Final Fantasy XIV, so be mindful. Hi guys, and welcome to a Hector lecture guide to the fight Hell on Rails Extreme. This is Doomtrain. For this fight you need spread positions. These are kind of loose. You're going to be running around a lot before these spread positions, so use your eyes and adjust to other players to make sure you're spread far enough. These are just a guideline. Similarly, your partners are set for pair positions, but you really just want to roughly go to these kind of quadrants for these. The most important thing during this is to find your partner. Later on in the fight, you need to do some larger spreads, and I'm going to use these positions as a guideline, but you can also YOLO the spreads. The fight begins with Dead Man's Overdraft. You're going to see either 8 orbs or 4 orbs on the boss. 8 orbs means the boss is storing spreads. 4 orbs means the boss is storing pairs. Here they're going to store spreads, so I'll type it in the chat to save it for later. The boss will follow this with Dead Man's Express. This is a knockback with lasers to hide from. Position yourself in a lane where you're not with one of the ground level lasers, so you don't get hit by it. And you can either ride the knockback or pop knockback immunity. Immediately afterwards, the orb mechanic will go off, so you have a few seconds to spread. Another Dead Man's Overdraft. This is going to save up the opposite mechanic. We had spreads first, so now we're saving up pairs. Type it in the chat. And now we get Dead Man's Windpipe. This is a suck-in mechanic. It's going to draw the players towards them, so position yourself so you won't get drawn to the first 2 lanes, as they're going to be unsafe immediately afterwards. If you want to keep your uptime, melees, pop your knockback immunity. Dead Man's Windpipe will suck you in, and immediately afterwards resolve the orb mechanic, in this case pairs. Unlimited Express is a raid wide in which the boss will ram into the stage, destroying it, sending you into the next phase, so mitigate and heal through it. When you arrive, you have a few seconds of downtime before the boss returns and becomes targetable. We get a Dead Man's Overdraft, storing something. This time it's pairs. We get Turret Crossing, which is going to spawn a bunch of turrets on both sides of the arena. And then one of the sides of turrets will start to glow, signifying they're going to fire. The only way to be safe from these turrets is to hide behind these boxes here, whichever one is blocking the lasers. These turrets will be the first thing we need to dodge, so all of our range will immediately dodge it, and our melees will join them later after they get their uptime. Dead Man's Express is coming here. We look for the knockback and the lasers, but most importantly, we dodge the turrets first. Immediately after this, you need to position to dodge the lasers from the Dead Man's Express. Now, run towards your orb positions, in this case pairs. Another Dead Man's Overdraft, saving the opposite mechanic, in this case it's spread. More lasers from the side. We position so that we're safe behind this box. And while we're positioned here, you'll notice tanks are hugging the front of the lane, the rest of the party's a little bit further back. This is because the tanks will be targeted with a Tank Buster Lightning Burst. We wait for the turrets to go off, and then tanks need to immediately run out. Tanks, I recommend using Rampart in your short cooldown for this, as there's a lot of busters in these first phases. More lasers from the side, positioned to be safe from wherever lasers are firing. And look at the boss mechanic. This time it's a Dead Man's Windpipe, so it's a suck, and we need to spread afterwards. Dodge the turrets first, then position for the suck, and finally position for your orbs. Another Unlimited Express is going to knock you into Phase 3 with raid-wide damage, so mitigate and heal. You'll arrive there, the boss will become targetable, and the only mechanic we have here is a Lightning Burst Tank Buster. I recommend tanks take this just with their DLC mitts, Thrill of the Battle, Bulwark, Dark Mind, as well as their short cooldown. After this Tank Buster, the boss will cast Runaway Train. This is going to spawn an ether in the middle of the arena, and then immediately suck you into the Add phase. This phase, you have an ether in the middle you need to kill, and then you have some trains around the outside. The small Ghost Train on the lower track, and a much larger Doomtrain on the higher track. The Ghost Train works very similar to how it did in normal mode. It's going to spin around in a circle, watch where it goes, and when it stops, it's going to cleave the tanks, but this time it will cleave both tanks at the same time. So our tanks will need to run out towards the side. They want to run diagonally towards the Ghost Train, main tank going left, off tank going right. The party has to actually pay attention to both trains. The big train is going to be moving around still, but what you really want to do is you want to listen to it. Occasionally, it's going to let a train whistle out. Afterwards, it's going to shoot attacks out of its chimney, You can see these, but it's a lot easier to just listen to them, especially if you've got your sound effect volume up high. 1, 2. If there's nothing more after that, you're going to stack in light party stacks, groups of 3 because the tanks are busy. If you hear a third attack, though, that means you're going to be spreading instead. If it's light parties, we want to position like this relative to the ghost train, with group 1 towards the train and group 2 away from the train. If we're spreading, these positions work well. Just to illustrate, tanks, if you don't go diagonally towards the ghost train and instead just go perfectly east-west, you make this space a lot smaller for the party and are very likely to cleave a range. The ad phase works like this. The ghost train is going to start spinning around. Listen for the train whistle, and then count. 1, 2. There isn't a third, so it's light party stacks. Position accordingly. Tanks, use your short cooldown only for this. That's enough to survive, and it means you'll still have cooldowns if you see 3 or 4 of these. This will then repeat. The ghost train spins around again, and we wait for the train whistle. Count. 1, 2, 3. This time it spreads. Tanks, you can use your 40% on this one if you want. Wait for the train to stop, and once you figure out where it's going to stop, position in your spread positions. This will repeat until one of 3 things happens. Either you kill the ether in the middle, you die, or the Doom engine power bar of the boss gets to 100. Assuming you kill the ether in time, the boss is going to drive a train track directly through you and hit you for a raid-wide ultimate attack. When this ends, you'll be back on the original platform, top everybody up immediately as the boss is going to grow arms, and then there's an untelegraphed raid-wide. Next up is a Lightning Burst Tank Buster. Healers, just be aware your tanks might be a bit short on cooldowns, especially if you saw 3 or 4 of the train mechanics during ad phase. Then there's a Derailment Siege. This is a tower that's going to hit for 3 stacking hits, and so have the entire party stack in it with some light mitigation and healing. After the 3rd hit, immediately run to the south of the platform. The boss is casting Derail, and you need to teleport off of this platform before it gets destroyed, or you'll die. Assuming you made it safely, you'll land in Phase 4. The boss will arrive, become targetable, and immediately stack up somewhere. Doesn't matter where. Listen. When you hear that snap, and the boss's fingers snap, immediately move. Puddles are being placed directly under where you were just stood. From this point onwards, I'm going to refer to this as a twister mechanic. You can either listen for the snap, or watch when the boss snaps its fingers. Next up, we get the uppy-downy mechanic, as I call it. 2 telegraphs that both happen, but which one is first is random. We see the down unsafe one, where the boss is going to cleave the entire ground level, followed by the up is unsafe one. So because of this pattern here, we are going to start up, and then we are going to jump down afterwards. Had it been the reverse order, we would have started down and then teleported up afterwards. We go up for this pattern, wait for the first hit to go off, and then we jump down, dodging the second hit. Immediately afterwards, we're going to start to position for the next major mechanic. For this, we want all of our melees in one group on the top right platform, and all of our ranged on a group on the bottom left platform. Both groups should be on raised platforms. The next mechanic is Arcane Revelation, which will spawn the lightning circle from normal mode, but also give the tank and a random healer a stacking debuff. This just means that while we're dodging Arcane Revelation, we need to be in light party stacks, and these are enormous stacks, so you need to be very far apart from the other group, or you'll overlap and kill each other. Arcane Revelation will have the boss raise its hand up and slowly collapse them together, and as they do so, the circle is going to move around. This circle can either move 2, 3, or 4 spaces from where it started. When the hands are quite close together, and if you listen carefully, you can hear what sounds kind of like a laser gun repeatedly firing. That tells you that the next spot will be the last one for the circle. So here it's going to end on the right, so all groups are going to run over towards the left. Tanks and melees need to jump down and pop sprint usually to get to this spot. The stacks go off, and as you can see, they're huge. Immediately afterwards, tanks and melees should reset on their raised platform. The circle will start moving again, either counterclockwise or clockwise. After 2, the hands are close together. We hear the lasers. And so the next spot will be the last one. North will be safe this time. Healers and ranged need to jump down. Tanks and melee should as well. and make sure you're spread far apart from each other. Be aware that these stacks do not count if half of the group is down and half of the group is up. You need to make sure that you either all are up or all are down when taking these, or it won't count. This is the most annoying pattern, as healers and ranged are going to need to run a big circle to get back to their original spot, and the Arcane Revelation's not going to wait for them. Here we get unlucky and we get a fast one. Fortunately, we can see that it's going to end in the north, and so both groups should go to the south. For this one, tanks and melees can stay up on their platform, otherwise they need to do the giant downtime circle of shame to get back to their original spot. Arcane Revelation will hit 3 times total. Here are the different spots, depending on where the lightning circle ends up, where melees and ranged respectively should stack. Here it is for east-west, and here it is for north-south. Afterwards, you're going to get a random uppy-downy mechanic, so we'll look at which telegraph is first. Here it would be down first, followed by up. And then whenever you finish resolving that, stand still. There's a twister. Dodge. After the twister, we get a lightning burst tank buster on both tanks. We get a derailment siege. And rather than stack as a big group for this one, I recommend having one of your tanks invulnerate. This just allows everyone else to already start to position at the back, ready for derail afterwards. This tower will hit for 4 times. After the 4th hit, everybody needs to get to the back of the arena and teleport away to safety. On to phase 5. As you land, you won't have much room to start as boxes block the pathway, but this will change shortly. Once the boss shows up, they'll cast Psychokinesis, move some of the boxes, and put giant spread AoEs on 2 random players. You're going to kind of just have to adjust to this, but the ideal positioning is to have one of these spreads in the top left, one in the top right, and the rest of the group can go wherever a box was removed. Wait when this finishes. There's a twister. The boss is going to cast Psychokinesis again, remove some more boxes, and now 3 players are targeted. For this, we want to prioritize melees near the front and ranged near the back. Everybody else can stay middle as there's no twister after this one, or you can just stand in one of the deformations. As long as you're not in the overlap of 2, there's no reason that you cannot get hit by 1. After this one, we get tank busters, and while I know you know how the lightning burst works, I just want to point out that if your off tank's already hiding up in the top left corner, main tank, just go to the other side. Afterwards, start to pre-spread, as we're going to get 1 more Psychokinesis. We're going to take away a lot more of the boxes, and 5 random players are going to get these big spread AoEs. This is where we're going to use the big spread positions I showed at the beginning of the fight, as these allow you to pretty comfortably fit all 8 people in without actually having to think about or adjust to each other. It's tight, and you may have to still do a little bit of using eyes to avoid overlapping deformations, but otherwise this does work fairly well. After the attacks go off, stay still. Twister. For this, you want to dodge in between where the players are stood. Moving 1 tile diagonally is a nice way to avoid accidentally going where a twister is. Another derailment siege. This time have your off-tank invulnerate. This will hit for 5 hits, while the range can already start to pre-position near the back of the platform. After the 5th hit, everybody needs to get off. Go to the south and teleport to safety. On to the last phase, and there's not a lot new here. This is mostly old mechanics remixed. We get a Dead Man's Overdraft, loading up something. Remember it. We get a turret crossing, spawning turrets. Turrets will start to fire. Make sure you're safe from them. The boss will telegraph an uppy-downy. It's down safe first. The turrets go off. We wait for the first attack of the downy uppy, and then we teleport to go up. The turrets are going to go off again, but this is a bit of a debate. The boxes are going to get removed before they go off, so you can only dodge the right turrets by being on the raised platform. Afterwards, Psychokinesis is going to give us 4 random AoEs. Again, you can go to your big spread positions or YOLO these. Just make sure not to overlap. Afterwards, stand still. Twister. Dodge diagonally to avoid overlapping. Another turret set. Note the left turrets cannot be dodged on the raised platform. You need to dodge them by hiding behind the raised platform instead. At the same time as you're dodging these turrets, the boss will load up either a suck or a knockback. In this case, it's windpipe, so we prepare for a suck. Don't forget you can knockback immune. Afterwards, position for the orbs. We get a Tank Buster. And another Dead Man's Overdraft, this time loading up spreads. Now we need to position again for Arcane Revelation. This is like that mechanic from before, it's just easier. Same thing, only it's only going to hit twice this time, and because of how the platform is organized, it's a whole lot easier to move around, so it's a little bit simpler than what it was before. Here, where melees and ranged, respectively, should stack on this platform. And here it is if it's north and south safe. Be aware healers in range can stay up if it's front safe. There is a tiny safe spot for you. Afterwards, whenever you finish the second hit of Arcane Revelation, stand still in your group, Twister, dodge, and then you're going to get the opposite, either a knockback or a suck-in, whatever you didn't get before, and it will use the orbs afterwards. Position for it, making sure you don't get hit by the lasers, and then do what the orbs say, in this case, spread. Now, all repeated mechanics. We get a random uppy-downy. We then get a lightning burst tank buster. We get a twister. We get a stacking tower. This time it's 6 hits. If your main tank is a warrior, they can invuln both the 4-hit and the 6-hit one. Home gang will be back in time. Any other tank, you just need to stack as a party for this. And finally, one more derail cast, but there's nowhere to teleport to. You need to kill the boss before the cast finishes, or it's game over. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed.